Welcome to an amazing episode of the Alumni Podcast. We have a very special guest today, T. Man, you know what? T, you rapped a little bit on the intro track, bro. You did a little bit, right?
I'm nervous now because we got a proper rapper on. He's gonna be ripping my shit apart. So this will be interesting. We'll see what he thinks.
I can guarantee you our guest is going to vibe with the intro track, but let's see what he says when we come back. Yeah.
I feel like he's in the hot seat because he looks like he's in a sauna right now. So I respect that. We're gonna get to the hot seat in a minute, but he's already in it. I feel it.
That's what's up, man. All right, let's play the intro.
Hit the intro, brother. We the alumni, ripping it up while you were gun shy. Running back, reincarnated, graduated and elevated. Past lives of fast times from our high school and beyond education. Take a listen, nostalgia's never distant. No disses on this track, we handle our business. NBA, JD, DPT, we got the stack. Hey Jim, it's time to bring our classmates back.
Yo, Louis King, man, what's up, bro?
Yeah, shouts to the S, man. What's up, Jim? What's up, Tyler, man?
Hey, we're chilling. How'd you like that intro track from T, though?
I love the intro track, man. It's real S-boy shit. You know what I mean? Look, man, you gotta just express yourself, bro. Like, motherfuckers gonna say what they want to say. You know, gonna, you know what I mean? Some motherfuckers gonna like, some motherfuckers don't. If it's you, it's fucking great, man. It's the greatest expression of you. So that's how I feel, man. Like, preach your shit, and you from the S. So, you know what I'm saying? I love the Peter, man. I love the S, man.
That's right. I miss it so much. Yeah. Thank you,
bro. We're gonna learn a lot about self-expression today, for real. But T, I think you got a photo back in the day.
I got a photo. I'm not certified this is high school, but this is something. This is something that we need on the pod right now. This is some Tupac stuff going down. He's got the rings out. He's got the whole.
I missed that.
That's dope, man.
Hey, you know who made that movie? You know who made that movie?
No.
Y'all are 2010. Do you know my dog? Cuz he gonna be so mad if I don't.
Tate Tucker? No.
Nah, not Tate. Alejandro. You know Alejandro, professional soccer player?
Ooh, how do we not? If he's in the
how do we not? We should bring him on the pod if we.
Yeah, we should bring that guy on the pod for sure.
He's a legend. Man. He's a legend. Yeah.
He's a 2010 grad that's in the pros in MLS or something.
He might be 2009. Might be
okay.
2008.
Okay.
He's legit. He played professional. Nice. And he made that ring for me. He made one for me. He made one for Big Cuz, who's like, shouts to Big Cuz, an OG from, you know what I mean, the S, and he made one for Ray Wright from Warren Brew. So we had three rings. We had 3 gold rings.
Nice.
That's what's up, dude.
Y'all know Ray Wright? Y'all know Warren Brew, of course, right?
Yeah, Warren Brew. Yeah, I do. It's like the rap group, right?
Fam, yep. That's fam.
From Santa Monica, shout out. Man, Louis, we want you to rate your high school experience at Santa Monica High School from 1 to 10. 10 being the highest, 1 being the absolute lowest and worst.
Bro, my shit was 1,010. You know
whoa, okay, that's a record.
That's now the highest rating we've ever had, bro. Like,
oh yeah, I've rocked with Samo High. Like, my experience wasn't perfect, but it was just the perfect experience for me. You know what I mean? And like,
absolutely,
you know what I mean. And I always tell people, like, I would send my kid to Samo, but now maybe I would send her to, like, she gonna go to like one of them, like, Crossroads.
Crossroads. I was gonna say Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads is legit. St. Monica's also seems pretty dope too.
St. Monica's, yeah. If you're not like a super athlete, you know what I mean. Yeah. But you could go and be a ball out at St. Monica, but it's like, it's not necessarily gonna set you up to.
Right.
Oh, actually, shout out to St. Monica's, because actually the football coach at Samo is now the football coach at St. Monica. So actually, you might be able to go to St. Monica's and ball out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yo, the background, the vibes are perfect for the hot seat, bro. That's like the number one background for this
this
hot
hot
seat.
seat was made for you right now. That's perfect.
I can't wait for this. It's gonna be dope. Let's hit them. You know the rules. 2 passes, a shitload of questions that everyone wants to know. And let's go, T. Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got. First one up. Who was your high school crush, and did you ever shoot your shot?
Oh, for sure. I had to. My high school crush. I had some.
I got too many.
Yeah, it's at Samo. Just too many kids. Too many options at Samo. There's so many beautiful women, like 4,000 kids. So it's like, you know, you see a girl you never seen ever in your life, and you're like, oh my God, who is that? You know, I mean, I think my first girlfriend was like kind of, not my first girlfriend, my first like kind of girlfriend at Samo was kind of like my first Samo crush. You know what I mean? Because I just like met her at the homies. My homie had older brothers who were seniors, and I was a freshman. We always used to like, he had junior, no, he had a sophomore brother and a senior brother, and we were freshmen. So those two brothers always were like hanging out with, you know what I mean? Great. And we were the little bros always, you know what I mean? Like hanging out with them. Right. So it was like, and you know, back in when you in high school, like the freshmen want to hang with the seniors and all of that. So now here we are freshmen, and now all of the freshman girls want to hang with the senior boys. So they over at the senior boys' house, but we the little brothers of the senior boys at the house. So yeah, I met this girl, and then and I think and then I DM'd her, or I like, was it MySpace at the time?
Yeah, it's probably MySpace or something. I don't even know. Yeah, back then. Yeah.
MySpace. Yeah.
There you go, man. Did it. I love that. I love to hear that question.
I'm gonna give you a name. Anna Banana. Shout out to Anna Banana. That's my dog.
Okay. I was going to say names if you got names, because it's been 14, 15, 20, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So no use in that.
She know what's up. We had our history, so that's my people's and shit. I was speaking. Yeah. That's my people. So motherfuckers know Anna Banana.
Anna Banana. Question 2 is, who did you have beef with at Samo, or just didn't have a good vibe around? Any fights? Any fist fights? Anything crazy?
Oh man, y'all ain't do no research on me. Man, y'all must have not known through high school. That's how crazy Samo is, because Samo really so many kids that you could really not know. You could meet someone for the first time after high school. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I'm a pretty peaceful guy, but I would say that part of my history is, you know, pretty written in the on the walls. And you know, I ain't going to incriminate myself, but I will say that whoever I had beef with in high school, and like I didn't really have beef with no one. I mobbed around with 100 people everywhere. Right. I was the captain of the football team. They came when I was a freshman year. They called my mom to school, brought her into school, and said, "Your son is the leader of a gang on campus." Principal, blah, blah, blah. They said, "Oh yeah, which one of y'all know my son? Who know my son? Y'all know what class my son's in? Y'all know what the sports he play? Y'all know what type of grades he got?"
Yeah.
Said none. They said, "Okay, why don't you go check it out?" You know what I mean? And that was kind of the thing. Is like, you know, I really wasn't like ever the type to like go somewhere and start a problem with someone. But when you move around with a bunch of, you know what I mean, about that energy, you know what I mean? And also on top of that, I'm Black. There's, you know, we dealing with what we dealing with, whether it be like, in the S was a lot of like racism. There was a thing with like Black and Latino people. Right. And for me, there was never a thing like that. Because my closest homies was Latinos. Like, shout out to Big Cuz. Like, me and Big Cuz was like brothers. That's like my big bro. You know what I mean? Right. Bro, still down the street. Like, we still work together. That'll always be family. And we never judged each other on Black or Mexican, and we was just brothers. So when other people had that energy, right? You know what I mean? In the streets, there was a lot of shit going on with the prisons and coming down from the prisons of LA County to where Black and Mexicans had beef in the prison. And so that sent beef into the streets, actually. And you gotta understand, all them gangs, Santa Monica 13, Culver City, Sawtell, they're all in the prison too. So it's like whatever sent down from prison is sent down into the streets also. And then you got 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids that want to be down, that's listening to these dudes that's locked up, that don't give a fuck about them anyway, that just mad about acting off emotion. Go get that motherfucker. And then they kids, so they want to be down. So, you know, I was involved in all of that. You know what I mean? But I wasn't like, I had opportunities, and luckily, like, God just removed me from that. Like, people, you know what I mean? I don't want to take too long on the story, but it's like a lot of people know my story is like, I was in a deadly car accident when I was 17 years old on Lincoln and Pico, and I was one of the top ranked football players in the country. I was going to every single, you know, official visit, Cal, USC, UCLA, everywhere, and I had to tell everybody. They say, oh, this kid, he might die, and if he survived, he'll be brain dead, vegetative state, and if he survived that, he won't be able to walk. So they was like, oh, you know what I mean? That's a wrap. You know, no one survives from that. No one comes back from that. But that, in the long run, ended up saving my life. You know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah. Okay. We'll get into that in the Wayback Machine, I bet, once we get to more of the story for sure. Question 3 is going to be, do you recall the first time you were wasted or smoked or anything in high school? What year that was, or the situation?
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, I can smoke through this question. You know, certain questions I gotta watch. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clip this shit, so I don't want motherfuckers to see me smoking on this clip. But
yeah.
The first time I smoked, well, like my dad is a musician. My dad toured with like Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? We're from Africa. Like my family's still in Africa. You know, my grandma used to grow weed in you know what I mean, before I was born. You know, so like I would see weed always, like there was weed around in my house and shit. Like, not in a bad way. Like, they were not like in my face or anything, or like trying to like irresponsible or anything. But more just like, it was just part of the lifestyle, and like niggas didn't try to throw it, niggas try to avoid it. I didn't even know my mom smoked. I didn't even know until college that my own mom smoked. When I grew up and realized, like, oh, she chilling, she married my dad. Like, that's like, nigga, do I date a girl that don't smoke? Like, I might, but like most likely we chilling and smoking, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, first time I probably smoked like really was my homies went into that room. We went into this room at the crib, and like I said, my dad is like a real artist, like Rolling Stone. Like, this nigga is on playing drums on Michael Jackson's album Bad, the Michael Jackson album, right? And so like anything you could think of that a rock star was into, he was into, but not as much like cocaine and this type of shit. But weed, you know what I mean? And so, you know, my older homies, that was like my family, you know what I mean, that was like older, my cousins and my dogs, they would recognize weed earlier than me, and they would be like, yo, your pops smokes weed. And I was like still on the dare shit. I was like, what? Nah, we don't. What do you mean? They're like, nah, this is, they smoking this weed. Look, we could find some right here. And then I'm like, what? I'm like, fuck, he's older than me and shit. Nigga, we go in the back room. Nigga go, look, watch. Take out, this is my dad's shit. Take out my dad's shit. Open it up. There's a big ass fucking cigar. This is like the first time chiefing.
Yeah.
A cigar. Never knew about rolling a blunt, or never rolled a blunt, nothing. Didn't even know what a swisher was. Nigga took the cigar, cut that bitch up, broke that bitch down, and took all the weed in this thing and smoked the cigar. Didn't even know like how big that was. Like, you know what I mean? This ain't no cigar, this shit was. And then like pretty much we smoked it and fell asleep. And like there was my mom came in the room in the morning and there was just like a bunch of fucking cigar guts in the shoebox. And like needless to say, like not needless to say, like I ain't seen my nigga in like a year and a half from that shit. Like you know what I mean? They was like, oh, like this this dude is bad influence. He's bad influence on my son. Like, nigga, this nigga got the weed here, you know. And the funny thing about that's my older homie, you know what I mean, who kind of like a bro, a cousin to me, you know what I mean. He got kicked off the football team for knocking this nigga out at practice. It was hilarious. But his first time, he didn't even go to Samo. He went to Culver City High, and his first time smoking ever. Right, this is the same homie that smoked with me for the first time, older. His first time smoking ever, he goes to his homie's house when he goes to Culver City High, and he fucking goes over there and is chilling upstairs, and these dudes are smoking weed that he's hanging out with, this dude, and they hear someone coming up the stairs. It's back in the day, you like trip when a parent to come in. Dude walks in the fucking door. My homie gets super startled because holy shit, that's this nigga Lewis's dad. How is this nigga in another random homie's house in Culver City?
Right.
My dad is in there because my dad low key had a baby with this other woman, like low key on the low, like even I, you know what I mean? Like this is like a, you know, and so like, and this is my little brother, like, you know, I got cut tatted, like that's family, Olu now, that's my brother. Like at the time, like I didn't, you know what I mean? I was a kid, I didn't know what was going on, like, you know what I mean? And so yeah, man, that shit's crazy. My first time smoking was with a homie who his first time smoking. My dad came upstairs and was like, "Oh, you want some cashews?" And I knew it was my dad because this nigga really, I know he's telling the truth because my dad be with cashews. You know what I mean? That's like, you gotta stay with some cashews, like you know it was true. So
that's funny.
That's funny,
my dad be with some cashews. Let's go 2 more questions so we can kind of move on to the show. Next one's gonna be financial. Are you currently north or south of a 6-figure income? And if you are, when did that first happen in your career?
Yeah, I'm up North Pole, you know what I'm saying?
North Pole up in here, I love that.
You know what I'm saying? That. But you know, I ain't even trying to, you know, I almost wrote "Don't Ask That" on the pod.
Yeah, big account statements.
Not for the reason that you would think, you know.
Yeah, why not?
I work in Web3, and so I make music. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm an artist. I'm a music artist. You know, work with all the, you know, from Snoop, the Wiz on my album, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Ab Soul, DMX. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Solid.
You know, I chose a different route of doing this music, and I clicked up with this tech company called Gala Games and Gala Music, and we released music NFTs on the blockchain. And so, you know, I think my first like 6-figure like project was like I have a company called iManagement. So we have been doing production, creative stuff for hella people, for hella major producers and movies and TV shows for a number of years before like my own individual like music career was kind of supporting my income, you know, at least like consistently. And so, yeah, we did this movie. It's called End Poverty, Make Trillions. It was during the pandemic. So the first big break was low key during the pandemic. I was before that also, like I toured with like touring manager for Earl Sweatshirt. You know what I mean? I'm on tour around the world with Anderson .Paak, Solange, Erykah Badu. So there was like, I was doing good already, like, you know, from the standpoint of like, I was earning a living. I'm working 10 months out the year on tour. This is back in like 2019, you know what I mean? And just, you know, right before the pandemic hit. And then, you know, pandemic hit, and I'm like, oh man, we we had selling out Madison Square Garden and that. I'm like, yeah, this is it, you know. And then the pandemic, and it's, you know, you got to figure it out because now you can't tour. You got to figure out a way, and that's kind of one of the things that pushed me into Web3. But I did get an opportunity because I you know, I'm a creative, so my company, we create production, we do music production, video, you know, whatever. We do tech. It's a company that does kind of whatever. It's like an Amazon for the creative. And you know, so we did a big project we called End Poverty Make Trillions back in 2020, and that was my first, like, you know, movie that was like, you know, $200,000. I'm getting ready to do it for like 15,000 or whatever he's gonna offer. We didn't even get the offer yet. Like, pretty much, I thought that I didn't get it. I thought the homie got outbidded by someone else. They was giving it to the producers that made Woodstock, and it was whatever. I had a job anyway. You know what I mean? I had a job. I was selling trees. My first job ever with medical benefits was selling trees during the pandemic. So I was like, fuck it, like, I like this shit consistent. But I had did this film like 5 years ago before that, like on tour with the Outlaws, because I really started touring like internationally with the Outlaws, which is like Idi Amin, Noble, like Tupac's group, you know what I mean, group Fatal Hussein before he passed. So I made this movie with them called Hip Hop Lives American Thug Icon, where I travel. It's a documentary series where I travel to different countries and shoot like documentaries while on tour and highlight different things and people. And so this one was about Tupac, along with the Outlaws. It was during the movie, the Tupac movie. And, you know, just to say, you know, it didn't end up getting cleared in the way that we wanted it to get cleared, but it got the right people. And straight like 5 years later, however many, 3-4 years later, this dude appears, reaches out to this dude who I like let him I put his name in as a credit as a producer, like, and you know, he helped out with it for sure, you know what I mean? But he ended up telling me, this dude want to do a movie or whatever. And you know, at one point I thought, okay, they're gonna hire me, you know what I mean, do like a little $10,000 job or some shit, whatever. It was nice. You know, and then dude called me like 6 days before they were leaving for this movie that was a 36 city tour, 36 cities during the pandemic, giving out $200 million.
Wow.
Like pilots, you know what I mean, for a universal income, you know, basic income, UBI, but at UBI, at the federal poverty guidelines, which is about $14,000 per individual, about $20,000 for a couple. And so, you know, long story short, the dude hit me 6 days before the whole shit, and it's like, I think I'm just gonna go with you instead of this other company. It's $200,000 good? And I was like,
sign that paper.
I'm selling trees for $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Like, sign that man's paper, dog. Let's go. $200K. Let's go. I'm trying to tell Jim, man. He's trying to negotiate. I'm like, get up, man. $225 for that lawyer contract. Let's go, Jim. Let's get it. Let's get it, brother.
I had to build my whole business from that. Like, I had my business. We've been doing business for years, but I ain't had all the articles, you know what I mean, and all the actual business papers, the LLCs, the bank account, all that stuff. So that was like my first shit. I had to go and hire like 40 people, and then
crazy.
Nice.
Just the music. Really, the Web3 shit is really the thing that's been taken off. And I sold my first NFT for Regala Music for $100 for 100 NFTs, and I said, man, if they could buy my shit like this, you don't think I would know already? Man, that shit sold out in like one day. Maybe, you know, maybe, you know, 10,000, you know what I mean? And then dropped another one. So my first like deal with them partnership was like 5 NFTs and shit. And then, you know, eventually like they all sold out. So, and some of them, like the first one is 100, the second one is 150 out of 100. So I'm just testing the waters. The only people that was signed to them was like Snoop and October London, a couple more peoples, but I don't want to get too deep in it. But the main thing I'm saying is like this Web3 thing in the beginning of Gala music, I start discovering like through my own experience, what some other people already knew that, this Web3 shit is the move specifically for artists. Because if you just a regular person that's, investing, like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, get in that shit. I definitely suggest it. But if you're an artist, like, why would you sell your shit for 0.0003 cents if you could sell your shit for $20,000? And that's from someone who done sold multiple NFTs at 20,000, who done sold out projects, in one day, over 6 figures this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, man, it's crazy.
Louis, I want to go all the way to the beginning though. I can't, I love business, and also I love Tupac. I'm like the biggest Tupac fan you ever meet. So here you got to spend some time with the Outlaws. It's crazy. I can't wait to hear that. I got to take you all the way back to 2007, man. That's when you graduated Monica High School. You were a young high school student at Samo. I know you guys, like, your grade had some sort of like racial tension. By the time me and Tyler came in, shit was pretty much gone.
Hell yeah. We helped squash that shit. We
that's good.
We was like, man, because do you know Eddie Lopez?
I do know Eddie Lopez. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he died, right?
That's my family. So we was not on none of that. But I just go ahead though. I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm just saying, like, hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because like that was the vision. You know what I mean? The vision was never to keep some dumb shit going.
Like we heard about it probably a little bit, but I don't think we actually like saw any of it. You know what I mean? By the time we got to Santa Monica High School. But you graduated in 2007. You walked the stage, and most people's story is that they just don't talk to their high school classmates ever again. They go to college, they do their thing, they end up in a career. They tell us how they got there. But yours is a little different, man. Yours is, a completely different path that you look like you found your niche in it, business-wise, which is super. It's a topic that me and Tyler love to talk about. But we want to know how you got there, and then I want to hear. I just want to hear all the steps that it took to get here into the seat in front of us right now, and the floor is yours.
Man, love that question. I mean, I'll try to keep it short. You know me, I'm fucking. You only know me 27 minutes, but you could tell when it get passionate. You know what I'm saying? It get passionate. So,
that's right.
Man, like, it all started for me just like, my moms and my pops, is my greatest influences, because, my mom is a super creative business, create music, but also like manager. She would manage my dad. She was a filmmaker. Literally, she was one of the few women ever, one of the few women that went to NYU film school. Might have been 2 women in the whole school when she went, and their teacher was Martin Scorsese.
Damn, that's crazy.
Shit, like, for real. So she, like, I did this in that movie, And Poverty Make Trillions. There's a scene where, like, I'm at the Pine Ridge Reservation, which is where the poorest reservation in the nation, Native American reservation, and I captured footage there, and then I utilized. There's footage, you could see black and white footage on film from like 1969, and my mom shot that footage. Maybe I don't want to say 1969, but 19 something in that range, and my mom shot it. So yeah, like, I do film, like I do management, but my dad is just a super like legendary drummer. You know what I mean? So man, like, I grew up around musicians, African drummers, really talented people, that dancers, just like people that were just incredible at their craft, and I kind of just went to class every day. Like, I would go to school, but then I would go to the drum classes. My dad would teach them, you know what I mean? Monday is regular, Tuesday is intermediate, Wednesday is beginner, Thursday is advanced. I'm in every class every day. You know what I mean? We lived in the store. You know, we lived in the store that we sold drums. So we was like the first drum store to sell African drums in LA ever. My parents came from New York, built the business, entrepreneurs, rented a place, you know what I mean? And then one day that place was popping. They would just we would just have like people always coming through for these full moon and new moon celebrations. And one day, right around now, you know what I mean? When I was like 11 years old, this gang, they came through, you know, and they spray painted the walls up on our crib, because we lived on the top of the floor, like you see motherfuckers who live in a liquor store or something like that. You know what I mean? That type of they just spray painted that shit and burnt that shit down. And we was on the top floor. We was on the second floor. It was like middle of the night. Don't grab nothing. Grab the dog. You know what I mean? The dogs was barking. We just ran down the stairs, like barely, you know, luckily survived. Just luckily, like, you know what I mean? There wouldn't have been no way to get out. So the dog saved us, you could say.
Yeah.
That woke us up, you know.
This barking and stuff, like lets you know like who's out there.
Yeah, some was off. They saved our lives. That dog, one of those dogs, just died a couple of years ago. That dog saved my life. I got him tatted right here. But that you know, little stuff like that, because when you like 11, 12, and someone come to kill you in your house, you know what I'm saying? And they want to stand on it too. They want to rep their shit too. Like, you know what I mean? You know, it kind of like, it sets you up, because I never lived in Santa Monica. So I had a little brother. This is the funniest thing. My little brother, Laven, his mom was in the group, in the band with my dad. So we're family like that. You know what I mean? And she always said, you know what I mean? She had Laven, kind of named him like kind of after Lewis. You know what I mean? Is what sometimes not after, but you know, that's my brother. Like, I love because he's just an incredible talent. And his sister, I mean, oh my God, this dude did 4 songs on Beyonce's last album and more on this album too. Wow. And not just like he did something on it, like he made the song and she loved the song so much she completely redid. You know who Snow Allegra is?
Yeah, rapper.
Are You Around?
Yeah.
Well, he wrote and produced Are You Around, and he the one that's singing around. He went to Crossroads. So I used his address to go to Samo, because my mom wanted to send me to school in Santa Monica to get me, you know, away from whatever, you know. She just was always thinking for the future. So, you know, Santa Monica that's why I went to Samo. And, you know, man, it's a long story, but it's all just good to experience Samo. We talking about Santa Monica and alumni, and it's like what I love about Santa Monica is like the diversity. You know, when I travel to other places and they ain't had that diversity, it just make me feel uncomfortable, almost like, you know what I mean? Like I can't go nowhere, and there's something that's like I feel I'm like intolerant of, except for like hate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care, you gay, straight, Muslim, Jewish, whatever the fuck you fuck with. Like, nigga, it's love. We went to Samo, nigga. Everyone was up there. You know what I mean?
Everybody super diverse for real. That is very true.
Yeah, look at the screen, man. Jim from Egypt, Tyler from Congo. Like, come on, Louis from Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right. Rep it.
So yeah, man.
Love that.
That's that kind of, you know, and then I was doing music, and that kind of took my spirit away from music a little bit, because it was like I was like an African drummer. So it was like, this was more type of shit that you heard in like Tupac's rhymes and Snoop and these cats. And I was like starting to kind of like appeal to that, like, oh, this is what these niggas was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they hating on you, or they trying to come up at you, or whatever it is. You gotta, you know what I mean? And so yeah, music was like like hip hop was kind of like my own identity when kind of African drumming was like my family's identity. That's a part of me always, but I wasn't necessarily like my voice because I was raised actually in LA. So it was like my native tongue became really more like American, you know what I'm saying, English, you know what I'm saying. But I grew up with all the like, you know what I mean, like Yoruba language, you know what I'm saying. So it's like pretty much this was my native tongue, and the poets that was sharing that was like hip hop artists like Tupac, you know what I'm saying, like the Outlaws, and so that's when I really got into that, and additionally, I found like sports, you know, and sports was just like I don't know what exactly it was, just help discipline and all this other shit and my mental health. Like I didn't even know what it was doing for my mental health back then. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an outlet for real.
It is. It's oh my God, like that's you know, that definitely helped save my life too. And it helped the right people come into my life that maybe would never have known who I was or cared or got involved, but because it was like, oh, this guy could run a 4.4 and he ran for 6 touchdowns against the best team.
Right.
Oh, let's hang out. Let's see what this guy, you know, he got coaches coming flying from, you know, I'm getting offers from Harvard, Stanford, you know what I mean? So like, you know, to me, sports was like, it emotionally, like it was deep because it was like, this was the first thing that I was able to show people, hey, look, I have value. You know what I mean? Like I have value. Now, do I need to play sports or play anything to have value? Hell no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it made me like these people were taking, you know, mentors and people who were coaches and just different people who were like actually making an impact in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I try to like connect to kids, because you just never know like what one moment really like change someone's life for real, you know.
So you were like a top recruit at Samo in football, right?
Yeah,
And
football.
then what you mentioned an accident earlier, and then that kind of derailed like your football career, or were you still able to like get back to it?
Nah, yeah, I won a national championship in college too, Division One. You know what I
Sick.
mean?
Where'd you
Villanova.
go?
So I went to Villanova.
Nice.
So we won
Damn.
in football and basketball in the same 2 years. And so yeah, I played you know, football, basketball, track, any whatever, you know what I mean? I played heck, you know what I mean? I coached Samo basketball too, you know what I mean? Football, anything, you know, whoever. I was just about like athletics, just, you know, working hard work, you know what I mean? Just that, you know, I was a coach's athlete. Like I just wasn't sucking up to nobody, but I was in the gym before everyone. I was out the door after everyone. I was gonna be a leader. I didn't want to take no shortcuts ever, and I wanted to get out of my reality. You know, I had to get out. When I was like, that accident really was like, no one thought I was gonna survive it, and everyone kind of what they call nerf you, where they kind of take you out of their prospects. You know what I mean? And so now I go from being like verbally committed to UCLA, and I'm on the campus almost dying at UCLA in the hospital.
Wow.
These guys is calling me, coming to school every single day. I'm good. Now I'm dying. I'm on your campus. You ain't calling, texting, no mail, none. So I'm seeing who like I'm learning this lesson early. Like you a piece of meat, and these coaches do not care about you. But the few that do care about you, I don't say they care about you, but the few that stayed in touch, you know, Washington, you know what I mean? Coach Tyrone Willingham, Oregon, Coach Pelham, you know what I mean? And then Villanova, you know what I mean? Coach Crocker and Oregon State always, you know, Pac-12. But the main shit is just that, like, when it came down to it, I had to get out of LA. I end up they say I'm not gonna walk, they say I'm not gonna do all this shit. I'm driving through a light. A car turns, makes a right, flies in, crushes my head, legs, everything. This is April 20th, 2006. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like fucked up. It's the spring ball. It's the time. I just went from my visit at Cal. Marshawn Lynch was the running back there. This nigga was fucking mollywopping the motherfucker.
Yeah, in the NFL now. Yeah, it was.
I'm like, I'm ready to sign right there, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I end up just walking one day, going to the bathroom, and got up. God blessed me. God healed me miraculously. No one really thought it would happen like that. I started quietly running, jogging, working out.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't really for the drugs they was giving. I was doing a little chiefing, but I wasn't fucking with the pills. So I was running. By the time they told me it was okay to run, now I'm lifting weights. By the time they told me it's okay to lift weights, now I'm punching motherfuckers. And finally, you know, it's a fractured skull. So it's like you never really supposed to play football.
Yeah.
8 doctors finally on week 0, Friday of week 0. After the game, I come to the game, I run up to the coach, everyone. I got cleared. With 8th doctor. The 8th doctor cleared me to play.
Right.
My senior year. To me, everything is, you know, you know what I mean? Everything is about football, because football is gonna get you out of your situation and make it, and you're gonna build your life on that. You know, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna build up, you're gonna get your money from that, you're gonna figure something out. So you need this. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's no plan B. But there is always, but there wasn't. Like, it's that type of energy. And you know, I got cleared, week 1, 82-yard touchdown to crib. You know what I mean? So now my senior year, now I'm just, it was just a blessing of God, man. I don't want to talk too highly, but there was a couple of things I was able to like do very good senior year. And then my LA Times player to whatever performance was like 6 touchdowns and 341 yards against undefeated, the best team in the undefeated. Culver City was 6-7-0 playing against us in homecoming. They had the quarterback, some quarterback. He was like the best quarterback, I guess. I don't know. He was really good, but they were like killing it, and we beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? And we just won the ball. So that game alone kind of earned all the scholarships back. And by that time, I just was like, man, I need to just get as far. I got into a couple, you know, real life situations because I was somebody in the streets too. I was a football known person, but I was known in the streets. So it was like when I was, you know what I mean, when I was down was like an opportunity for like motherfuckers who wanted to like chase clout to get a big name by like
by checking you or trying to like
with someone, like me, like. So now I'm in a situation where the cops is like, we in brawling, and the cops is like arresting someone for like in my Letterman jacket because I like threw my shit off to like jump and run and save my homies. They cracking bottles on the homies' heads, and then one of these dudes steal my Letterman jacket, and then the homies like, yo, these dudes got your Letterman jacket, and let's go run up on them. So when we pull up on them, hop out the car, we finna run up on these dudes again a second time in the night. The cops pull up on us right as we rolling up on them. These dudes take off running, take the attention off of us. We jump right back in the car. This dude, one of them hops the fence. The other dude can't hop the fence, gets arrested in my Letterman jacket. Now I'm like, oh hell no, that shit's $600. Like I don't even got no money for it. I'm a football team. Like only thing I have is like football. Like I wasn't like, bro, I wasn't like none of that stereotypical shit, bro. We all people, we all individuals. We not with bullying. We not with fucking like singling people out. We with unity. We with hard work. We with positivity. So like to me, it was like that was just like my little humble jacket that I would wear. It wasn't like a symbol. It was like shit. to me to afford this jacket, you got to understand $600. I ain't had nothing that was $100 to get it stolen. So I get out this motherfucking car, walk up to the cops. They got this nigga in handcuffs. I roll up on cuz. I roll up on him. My fist, if you could see even through the camera, I hit a dude so hard, his tooth was, I told him, I said, bro, chill, bro. I don't want to fight no one. Because mind you, I have a fractured skull. So I'm telling dudes, bro, I don't want to, like, we don't got to do it, but you got to understand, I'm a trained killer. I'm a fucking trained football running back monster. Like, it's different for me. So I go out, if I get into a fight, I'm never thinking, oh, I'm just gonna beat someone up, but I'm always aware, like, hey, be careful. You could hurt someone. You really put in a lot of energy. So I'm telling them, chill, bro. Dude coming at me with a bottle. I hit this dude. His teeth is in my hand. I told him, I said, I told you, chill. You know what I mean? My homie got 6 bottles smashed on his head. The homies brought him to the emergency room. We came to the emergency room later night. The same roommate that he got is the dude that's teeth is in my hands. He in the same room with the homie with his whole shit out. So this is just like how crazy the nights was, and I ended up having it, my hand like bleeding. I got it in my pocket. I got to ask for my shit back from the cops. This is the type of shit that's happening in May after I already, or maybe like April, after I'm like already kind of like a football. Kind of like, about to be a football star, like, you know what I mean, in college and shit. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I can't do shit like this. I'm too high profile. Like, this is fucking stupid. I need to get the fuck out of LA. I can't go to no UCLA, nowhere, go far away. And Villanova, they like almost like an Ivy League school. They got the number, at the time, the number 1 business school in the nation. Harvard's number 2. And I want to do business. And like, they're like, you could, Brian Westbrook was the previous running back. And they like, you could come here right now and be the guy right now.
Wow.
Like, oh, I'll come and be the guy.
I think anyone listening to this podcast, we're going to get into it in a minute here, but they kind of probably have a perception of you as a thug, as a whatever, as just the jock athlete kind of thing. You need to pivot a little bit to your time in Villanova, right? Because I looked it up. You had a double major in business and media production, and you go on to give a TED talk as well. So for everybody thinking that you're just kind of in this box of this one athletic build and that kind of thing, talk more about your time, how you managed to get a double major at Villanova, a very prestigious school, and how you went on to do a TED talk. What was that kind of like? How did you balance the academics in that pursuit with winning a national championship and all these kind of football endeavors as well? How did you balance that?
100, and it's important to remember too, and I appreciate you doing that, because for anyone watching, it's like, this is high school, guys. This is not grown men. You know what I mean? This is how high school people think. So when I see like people, rappers, and doing like acting like this as adults and deep in a whatever age, it's like, you know, bro, this is childhood shit. You feel me? So it's like, for me, when I was at Villanova, I looked at it like, bro, this is so much safer. This is at all times, this is so much safer. And the first time, you know, you go to get into some shit or some shit, like, it's not like, I never went to get into nothing, right? And I want to explain, like, even that party we just talking about, imagine you at a party and your homie, remember the same homie I'm telling you about who was the first person I smoked with, and the first person that, imagine you go out, you hear bottles and people screaming, and you go outside and see 6 dudes smashing bottles on this person. Now, this ain't about tough guy, nothing. It's about who is you, who is, you know what I mean? And so to me, it wasn't ever that I was like starting a fight. It was that I was a warrior. I was a soldier. I wasn't finna like, I was gonna try to like do what I could do to pick my people up. And I still do the same thing, but now on a level for what we're really trying to do, pick us up into like success and happiness and joy, and not like going to war against individuals. We're going to war against like corporations, and you know what I mean? entities and shit. So it's like now at Villanova, I just got a taste of like what America kind of is like. Actually, it's not like LA. LA is the bubble. These small suburbs is not the bubble. There are more of them than there are LAs.
Yeah,
They're all around, and these people think, you know, I'm not a judge. Nobody is the same. Nobody everywhere thinks the same. But you know, if you want to understand, go come from LA and go to like a small suburban place in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not to mention, we really finna get into it. Santa Monica, one of the most diverse schools in America. Villanova is the least diverse school in America.
Yeah.
This is a fact. These guys have the least amount of any other race, right? They have a highest percentage of Caucasian students of any other private university. I mean, clearly they have more than any public, but more than all the privates. And I'm coming here and I'm like, this LA gangster rapping football playing like nigga, I'm finna stand out on every single camera. Everyone finna be knowing about me always. There's no way I can like hide from this fucking place. This is like a different fucking place. And I had to learn that lesson. Like, yo, homies ain't finna do nothing for you. Oh, you got 100 homies that's down with you. What they finna do when you in the real world alone trying to do some shit? You know, it's like it don't matter. They don't no one care about that shit. So I had to just go through that life. I had to be a football player. Yeah, I had to like, you know, I won. I was lucky to like a super blessing is doing something that I never did in high school. We never won the championship. We always felt like we was the best team too. But shout out, man, what a team we had. Oh my God, these guys are incredible. How many NFL players? The high school team never had 10 NFL players on it. Yeah. I could count them out. My team was crazy. Right. Oh my God. You know, oh no, maybe not 10, but crazy about you got Alex Ryan, Cameron College, Gio. Oh my God. I mean, anyway, I said Gio, but going on to go to college, right? And to actually like be able to put your heart into something, like, man, we finna try to win this national championship. Like, you know what I mean? This is our first, you know what I mean? This is our first, like, we're contenders, you know what I mean? I'm playing West Virginia, 100,000 people in the stands, Maryland, you know what I mean? First game of the year. Welcome to college football. You're knocked out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like to put your effort in and then to actually win, to win the national championship. That was something just way more powerful than any football. Nothing. It was like coming back to play football after being injured, how I was having a fractured skull and coming back and playing. Just felt like I could just do whatever.
Yeah.
God was just with me. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was trapped in the car. My skull was crushed. They had to cut me out that motherfucker. I had to wait in that bitch for 45 minutes.
Wow.
A lot. The nigga like, you gonna be alive or you die, stay awake or not. What you want to do. You know what I mean? So when that shit happened and I came back and was able to I lost 40 pounds from that accident. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to come back and even be more confident and more. It just felt like, you know, so when you win a national championship, you put all this energy out, coming to practice, watching film. You know, you had a dream. Oh, I want to go play college football. I want to play Division I college football. And then you get there and I want to win a championship and you get there and you win. It's like, oh my God, you really can put your mind to anything and it's possible. Anything. It'll make you think that. But then, you know, and I believe that, and I hope my kid believes that. You know what I mean? Like anything is possible. There's a way, there's a way. You know what I mean? There's a will, there's a way. There's a mind, there's a way. But to say all that, to say that, that's when I learned the beast of what college football is, when every single one of my coaches is buying got a new car, a new house, a new wife, right? And I can't even afford. I got a hat and a fucking backpack. I can't afford the jersey in the library that they selling. That's my jersey. They
Wow.
making
Yeah.
how much money they making off of my jersey? How much money they making off of my video game? All these kids playing with me in the video game. They got the same tattoo as me. They got the same. So we this, you know what I'm saying? And we won that shit. You know what I mean? And that's why you see EA Sports go. You seen college football. It used to be called NCAA 2000 blah blah. Now it's called college football. We sued them. One, they had to take that shit down. This is the first year they put that shit back. You know what I mean? That was my class, and we was the first class that found out about CTE and shit because they knew about CTE, but when the movie came out, everyone else started learning, and that's when we realized, damn, they already had been known about this shit and didn't tell us about this shit. So there was a whole bunch of moral things with college football. It just is, you making so much money, you know what I mean? You imagine you got 100,000 people in the stands, 50,000 people, 100,000 people. How many drinks did they buy? How much popcorn did they buy? How much in parking was this shit?
I know your dad bought all the cashews. Know that your dad bought all the cashews when he showed up.
My dad got all the cashews. Nah,
your dad bought all the.
My dad didn't go to a college game, but he did. He went to one of my high school games before. I appreciate it. My uncle told him, bro, you better go to one of your son's games. You don't know. But my dad is from Nigeria, so it's like
they don't know like American football like that.
Yeah, it's not this. It's not. They don't necessarily. He didn't understand culturally, and that's okay. But back to all that, just to the TED Talks and all that stuff, like going through all this like crazy like violence and trauma that you didn't even realize, and just being blessed that you didn't even realize what a crazy you going out and getting into an altercation every weekend, or you know what I mean. Then you get supposed to go to college and you like some different, you just out of the environment. You just out of that environment, and it changes your mind. It's like, how is your mind now? Because what you thought was reality is not reality. It's only so what I began to learn more about was like emotional literacy. That's kind of back then I didn't know that term for it, but emotional literacy was what I was becoming a little bit more emotionally literate, which was understanding, identifying, managing, assessing, and accessing my emotions. That's what I needed to find that piece. You're not taught that piece. You taught you got to use these. You know what I'm saying? And when you learn, this, but also this. So I grew up always like you had to, you know what I mean? You had to get down in them Samo locker rooms, bro. You still could go on search LR. You could still search LRBA and YouTube and find the homies getting down in the locker room. You could still search it. Locker Room Boxing Association.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's just to go from that to like, trying to find peace in situations like Eddie, to where it's like, man, these is two people that's angry. They angry at each other, but it's misdirected. They don't really, they both experience similar things. Then they both think it's their own, you know what I mean? This is a book, it's a movie I got working on. It's called Under the Radar. It's about Santa Monica and how this shit was going down, and how, the city they didn't really want people to know about it. They didn't want people to know the murder rate on South Santa Monica and all them little, at the time, Michigan and all that was higher than all of Inglewood, just that 1 mile radius. You know what I mean? They didn't want people to know that about Santa Monica, because Santa Monica, the beautiful tourist city. So, it was always about, it's these people who are not from LA. They're not from Santa Monica. They come to Santa Monica, and it's them that's doing it. And really, it was just like, there's a real problem. Like you gotta stop it and address it, and something's gonna happen, or someone's gonna get killed. And my mom said it. She said it, and then it happened. and it's a damn shame. It happened. People was getting shot, but when it happened to Eddie, who, that's my brother, and that's your brother. If you, whatever whatever side, to me, we was all the same side anyway. We just ain't know. We ain't know. If you was in Egypt and you saw someone that you had beef with from LA, you'd be like, whoa, hey, I know you, bro. Like fuck you, but like what the fuck you here, man? Like you cannot be like, fuck you, I'm gonna fight you. You'd be like, bro, you made it out here, bro. That's great. That's how it's cool. So it's like I look at people now, I see people sometimes, maybe we had a problem with this, and it's all love, man. We were kids, we didn't. You know what I mean? They taught us some to hate, and we was unlearning it, and some people never did. And that's what I just try to do now is try to teach people to unlearn the hate that's unnecessary, because like really sometimes we just got to heal from shit so we can redirect that energy into something else.
Yeah.
Like at someone or blame or try to, just separate yourself from something else when really. So yeah, man, that's kind of how I got in. My TED Talk is about, emotional literacy, and it's about kind of like going into schools and prisons and doing. And the first time I went into like San Quentin, and I still am thinking like the toughest person, right, comes from this. So when you come to this place like San Quentin, you got all the toughest people, all in one place. And I was listening to something about this. 50 Cent was talking about this the other day. And so now they talking about the tough guys, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, you had to be tough. So you had to use this. Then when you use this, you ended up here in this place with all these other tough guys who use this. Then now all the tough guys together. So now you're going to have to use it again to prove that. Then now you're in there for longer now because you used them. Now you'll be here for longer.
Yeah.
Now that so to me it's like it's that was what 50 was saying. But for me, my whole idea was like when I came to San Quentin, right? I seen all that, but and I didn't judge no one because I was the same too at some point. Like anyone could have done anything. One action could have got you somewhere when you looked the wrong way, when you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, around the wrong person, whatever it could be, born in the wrong family, whatever it could be, right? Like it wasn't this when I came in here, like when I realized like, oh, if you could tell a poem, right, and you could break people down right from here for real, and you got all these brothers, and when I say break them down, I mean it in the most loving way, to get them to break that shell that they've been wanting to cry about some shit. They've been wanting to fucking talk about their own trauma for a while, but they ain't feel the safe space to do it. And music makes that shit cool. Because when Pac get on and say, they don't give a fuck about us. If I hold you right, wasn't until the day I die. And now when he say that shit, you feel that shit is cool. When you just hearing someone, venting or something like that, someone might, especially if it's a man, they're gonna say, "Oh, stop complaining, stop. Oh, you soft." It's like all these kind of just all this bullshit that we kind of was taught by society about how we supposed to be, and that's not how humans supposed to be. That's why we humans. That's why different other animals don't have this. Some of them can, but like, who knows what can and can't. But that I would like to say one of the greatest things about us being human is like the way we're able to express our emotions. You know what I mean? And maybe if I was an iguana, I might think iguanas could express it the best too. But so I want to be, but I'm just saying, like, man, man, that's what I do. That's my like heart work. That's like my purpose work, and really everything else. We just want to get that. Everything else is cool, and that's you got to make money. You got to be, successful at what you know what I mean. I got to make hit songs and do whatever shit I shows and whatever stuff. But the real shit, the real true like my soul work, my heart work is just like in the schools, in the prisons. And that don't mean I want to be there every single day or anything. Like, I don't even like going in the schools, prisons, or hospitals at all. But sometimes I meet people where they need the support. And really what I want to do, build more of is creating these programs in the schools to where, everywhere, every kid in high school, in middle school, elementary school, takes these emotional literacy classes. So brothers don't gotta be out mad at each other and just misdirecting that energy. So yeah, man, that's what I do.
That's pretty cool, man.
Dang, that's a mic drop right there.
You know what? That is a mic drop. You're one of those guys that we can bring on like 3 or 4 times, and we'll probably get to the full unveiling of your story. But
yeah,
we got like most of like the gist. You have a pretty incredible story, bro. From high school to winning a national championship in college football, to getting a double degree, to making money and making music and serving your community. That's pretty impressive, to say the least. All right. With that, I think we got to bring Lewis again, T. I think it's like, we're an hour in. But
this is not enough.
I think a round 2. You might be our first round 2 guest, bro.
Let's not even do the lightning round.
I mean, I don't really know one asked me about high school.
Let's just say we're gonna gear up.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Let's send him into the lightning round, and we'll talk him to get back on again, because we have to go through your entire like musical history post college. So
I love it.
That's gonna be cool.
This is gonna be Feed the Ducks there, Jim, and then there's gonna be one word answer. It's just whatever comes to your mind first. We're wrapping up the show here. It's been real. We'll get a part 2 though, for sure. The first one. Spot near Samuel High.
Damn, you broke up. My bad. I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, T.
Best off-campus spot to eat.
Best off-campus spot near Samo?
Yeah, like food spot.
Oh, food spot. I mean, I'm not even gonna give. I'm gonna say Bob's just because. Just shout out to Bob, just so you can just get a little
respect him, but he's a legend. I used to work there during the pandemic. Yeah, that was crazy.
Come on,
R.I.P. He just passed away.
Miles Barkley is legendary.
What's the sandwich spot? The sandwich spot.
Bay City.
He's inspired to. You gotta be there.
All right. Question 2: hardest class you took at Samo, or if you failed the class, whatever. What was your lowest grade?
I didn't really fail classes. I guess just the hardest class. Like, I didn't really have I liked school. I was good at school. That's why when it was like everyone was trying to put me, but I would say when I was in that car accident, I missed months of school. And after that school, they said, "Oh, you could take history class with Miss Bisson." She said, "Oh, all you got to do is take the final." I gave you a C because obviously you didn't finish the final or anything.
Right.
But if you want to get an A, you can just take the final and I'll give you an A. But I was like, nigga,
that's legit.
I got scholarships, nigga. I ain't taking no final, okay? They gonna take me. Besides Stanford wanted me to take it. But anyway, go ahead. Next, Joy. That's history.
That's fun.
I love history.
Final choice. Question 3: which year of high school would you most like to relive if you could wake up and redo that?
Ooh, which year?
1 year.
See, that's the problem. I'll just keep it exactly the same as it was. But I made mistakes, hell of them, and the mistakes were the best lesson.
Yeah.
Senior. Come on, it's senior year, cuz it's the best.
Senior year. Would you rather have a late start Wednesday or an early release Friday?
Oh, that late start Wednesday, I used to come I'm gonna just go late start Wednesday because we had the late start Wednesday. That was my shit. 10 p.m.
That's dope.
Stay up late. That's right. Question 5. Who was
the
the
riot
hottest
was
teacher?
On a Wednesday, because the riot was on a. I know you didn't heard about
morning.
the riot. That was a Wednesday.
Yeah. My brother was 07. He was the same year as you. I think Jim's brother was 06.
Who's your brother?
Brian Smith. I didn't know him. It was a big ass campus, but
I think I do know Brian Smith. My name sounds familiar. He hang out with like Jen Thomas and them.
Yeah. He hung out with a bunch of the wrestlers, like Yusuf and Lev and all those dudes.
Yeah. All those homies. They probably was at backyard boxing that one time, right?
I bet they were doing some shit while the riots are going on. I bet, but yeah, he was 07 too.
Yeah.
Question 5, 2 more. Who was the hottest teacher at Samo?
Yo, shout out. There was probably hella teachers that was hot, but since we were on the subject of history, shout out to Miss Bissett. Okay. I rock with Miss Bissett because I hope none of y'all is Miss Bissett's son, but yeah, man, Miss Bissett.
Nah, we're good.
Because you could give me a history. No. Shout respect to Miss. I don't want her to see me in a bad manner. I have much respect.
Yeah,
you was an awesome teacher. I enjoyed your class, and you were absolutely attractive, especially when you were a teenager. You know what I'm saying? She might, we Facebook friends. Yeah,
nice. You know we'll get Miss Biston on next.
I'm gonna send it to
You said we'll clip this out. We'll clip that out. We'll send it to her. Question 6. What song's good for you? What song from our high school era is still on your playlist today? What's the one song you still rock with?
Off top. Nuck, if you buck, boy, nuck, if you buck, your mama that told him pistol holding him. And then also gay area like that. Tell my people that Bodie Water is back.
That's dope.
Shit, that's that. We beat to rap.
We knew. Me and Jim were like, he's gonna rap on the show, and he just did it right there. So that's legendary.
Man,
legendary. So
come on, that's that gay area.
There was some.
Yeah.
All right. Plugs.
There were some good tracks back in the day. That was the final lightning round. Let's hit him with the plug. So the floor is yours. Whatever you want to say to wrap up the show, shout outs, anything like that.
Okay. Get my club clipping. Smoke machine. So just shout out to the Alumni Podcast for having me on here. Just always super down. I seen y'all post, and I think I liked it or I commented, and then y'all hit me up, and I was just excited. Like, yeah, man, like anything Samo, Santa Monica, Venice, West Side, like I just love it. Represent. It's a lifestyle. It's a just, you know, man. Shout out to wherever you from, LA or wherever, but I definitely appreciate y'all having me. Man, shout out to Gala Music. You see, I got my Gala tag on there. You can go check out my music on Gala Music. If you're into crypto, Web3, music, NFTs, one thing that's really cool is that we're talking about, you know, what benefits an artist to join in, you know, Web3 and selling your music as music NFTs. But for just anyone, if you guys like music, you said you're a Tupac fan, we got some Tupac tracks at Gala, right? You can actually earn money from owning and listening to tracks. So the money is in crypto. So the crypto is, you know, you get like an allowance. And my fans have earned over $34,000, right? Just from listening and owning tracks. So, you know, if it's something that you're never really heard of, you know, like you could try to brag about, oh, how many records you sold, blah, 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 but what benefit, you know what I mean? Obviously in the music is the benefit, how it affects you, but really like, what do you get from getting a ticket to someone's show? You pay $1,000, right? Well, my show, you know what I mean? We just did a show, Club VCon. Every single person that went to that show got a free NFT with value. All they got to do is mint it. It's on OpenSea. You can check it out. It's called Stand on Business. And yeah, man, just check me out. Louis King on Gala Music, on everything, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you got, SoundCloud. and Louis King on all social media. Louis King, and yeah, holla at me if you're interested in learning more about music, NFTs, selling your music. I got a ebook coming out. It's called 50 Ways to Make 50K on Music NFTs. So holla at me, and appreciate y'all for having me. When we gonna do a part 2 and y'all get the rest. You feel me?
That's right. Legend right there. Legend.
Stay tuned for a part 2 where we'll talk about the music industry. We might even ask him to drop a freestyle in that part 2, so stay tuned. It's a crazy, cool story. Thanks for coming on, Lewis. Really appreciate that, and we'll see you again. All right, just like that. That's the Alumni Podcast.